Now it's time for On Point, to where we speak to experts to delve deeper into some of the key issues in the spotlight right now. South Koreans Park Chan-wook and Kang-ho were named Best Director and Best Actor respectively at this year's Cannes Film Festival on Saturday, marking the first time in the country's cinema history that Korean films have taken home two titles from the festival.
So what made those two stand out among other nominees this year? Now we're going to find out as we connect with Jason Bechervaise, a Seoul-based film critic joining us this morning. Good morning. Now, firstly, what's your take on the two winning the top prizes for director and actor this year? I mean, does this come as a surprise to you, or was it sort of expected?
Yeah, good morning. Yes and no. I mean, Park Chan-wook winning Best Director, that's what I expected, because, I mean, the film's been very well received in Cannes. It led the Screen International's jury grid. Parasite won the Palme d'Or in 2019, and so I think towards another South Korean the Palme d'Or so soon seemed unlikely to me. And he's won the Grand Prix, he's won the jury prize, and so what do you give him next? And Best Director seems the most likely. As for Kang-ho, I read or I heard that Broker had received a Cannes callback. Now, these are callbacks because a lot of people kind of leave Cannes and the award ceremony happens right at the end of the festival, so they're then called back. So Decision to Leave and Broker were called back. So I was expecting an award for Broker, but I thought perhaps IU actually might win Best Actress, because she was, in terms of the reviews I read, I haven't seen the film yet, her performance was widely acclaimed. Yeah, it went to Kang-ho, which I'm equally happy about. Clearly a giant in the world of Korean cinema. In many ways, the face of Korean cinema.
So again, director Park Chan-wook, no stranger to the Cannes Film Festival, but this time around, what made his film Decision to Leave really stand out all the more? And also, I didn't have a chance to watch this movie particularly, but does it have the usual dark element that we're used to seeing in his work?
I haven't seen the film myself, but I've heard it's not as violent as his other films. His films often receive, an adult rating or an 18 rating. I don't think this film will. But I think with Park Chan-wook, and this is the case for many of Korea's kind of iconic filmmakers, it's true of Bong Joon-ho, Kim Ji-yoon, they're able to do something different with genre. They're incredibly innovative and experimental in terms of these genre tropes. Now, Decision to Leave, it's a murder mystery, it's a procedural thriller, and evidently he does something quite different with it. And I think that's what resonated with critics. I mean, the performances are fantastic. Park Chan-wook is incredibly well versed in cinema and literature, so he's able to throw a lot into his film and make his films incredibly dense and layered. And I think for critics and those who love cinema, there's a real appreciation for his work and his understanding of the medium.
And Kang-ho became the first male South Korean to win at Cannes, and well, he's always been a great actor, of course, but why does it take so long for him to get recognised?
Well, I think for actors, sometimes it's harder to get recognised internationally. Often when Asian films or Korean films go to festivals and go to award or hit the award circuit, it's often that the craft categories, the directors in particular, that attract the most attention. I mean, Parasite's a good example of that. It won Best Picture at the Academy Awards, and it was nominated in the various categories, including production design and editing. So, but it wasn't nominated for any of the actors. Now, Kang-ho, I think, as a result of Parasite, now he's been, like I said earlier, the face of Korean cinema. He's been a leading man in many of these iconic Korean films, working with these seminal filmmakers, Park Chan-wook's JSA, Thirst, Bong Joon-ho's Memories of Murder, Parasite. Kim Ji-yoon's A Quiet Family, and various other films as well, including A Foul King. And so I think it was an acknowledgement. I'm sure he's brilliant. He's terrific in Broker as well. But to me, it almost feels like an acknowledgement of his contribution, his immense contribution to the world of Korean cinema. I mean, when Broker had its kind of standing ovation at the Cannes Film Festival, there was this huge round of applause for Song Kang-ho, and he's just become this iconic figure now. And I think when the jury got together, I think perhaps that was a factor in their decision.
Jason, just a quick question again. Unfortunately, none of the South Korean films were able to win the Palme d'Or, but Triangle of Sadness, right, with Ruben Östlund was, I believe, the winner of the top award there. I mean, your thoughts on them? And was this a surprise win, in your opinion, there, or was this also widely expected?
Well, the Cannes jury is predicting the Palme d'Or is notoriously difficult because they're not critics, they're often actors, directors, and so yeah, it can be quite tricky to predict what film will win the Palme d'Or, and that was certainly the case this year. I didn't think it would be a Korean film, but yeah, it was difficult to read the jury. You know, there are a number of films that were quite well received, including Close, is a Belgian film. And so, yeah, this is the new film by Swedish filmmaker Ruben Östlund, and he made The Square. This is an English language film, his new film, Triangle of Sadness. It takes place on a luxury yacht. And I gather there is this very long vomiting scene, which has attracted quite a bit of attention. Apparently, it took 6 months to edit. So it's one of these films that I think is going to attract attention once it's released as well, and generate quite a bit of conversation, not least because of this particular scene. But I think it's obviously an accomplished film as well. So I'm curious to see it when it finally gets released here in Korea.
Well, definitely some dedication indeed, editing vomiting scenes for 6 months. Well, thank you so much for your insights this morning. Looking forward to speaking with you again.
Okay, take care.